Jazzcast Pros.
You might think about light, temperature, or comfort when you think about sleep, but long before your eyes close, sound is guiding you. You might not think of sound as part of sleep, but your brain does. It listens for patterns, predicts safety, and responds to the tones that either calm or disrupt your nervous system. Sound colors the space you sleep in. It sets the rhythm of your breath, and it shapes how easily you settle and how deeply you rest. Most people never realize how deeply sound influences their sleep until they change it, and suddenly, the body responds. Sound and sleep are both biology and personal preference. What soothes one person may overwhelm another, and what once helped you drift off might eventually stop working. Tonight, we're going to explore the sounds that shape your sleep, often in ways you've never considered. And if you're just joining us, this episode is part of our Sleep by the Senses series, and tonight, sound takes the lead. Welcome to the Doze podcast. I'm your host, Soda Kuczkowski. I'm a sleep health educator, a certified sleep coach, and also the founder of Start with Sleep, a sleep health education platform, and the Doze, an exclusive line of sleep-enhancing products, all with one mission: to change the narrative around sleep, because sleep is an important foundational piece for your personal and professional success. So for nearly 2 decades, I've worked with individuals and with companies, and I have studied the science of how the body unwinds. And I have to tell you that sound has always been a huge part of that story. Just speaking from my own personal perspective, I tend to be an extremely sensitive sleeper. So for most of my life, I've needed some kind of ambient sound to sleep. And my go-to has usually been an air purifier. The steady hum helps my nervous system settle. But recently, after experiencing a series of debilitating headaches, because I have suffered with headaches for a number of years, I've had to readdress what sounds I use at night. So that's to say that sometimes the body needs change. So I shifted away from a constant sound and I moved towards silence, buffering my windows and doors instead of adding more noise. So that reminded me of something many people often don't realize, and that's that sound can be supportive, but our preferences can also evolve. Our brain adapts to what it hears, and over time, that same sound that soothes you may stop having that same effect. Sometimes you need to change the frequency, soften the tone, or create silence altogether. Sound is not a one-size-fits-all. It's a conversation between your senses and your biology, and that conversation changes as you do. Your auditory system never fully shuts off. Even in sleep, your brain keeps listening. It's scanning the environment for safety cues. The right sounds reassure your nervous system. The wrong ones keep you on alert. And what you hear shapes how fast you fall asleep, how long you stay asleep, and how restored you feel when you wake up. When it comes to the science of sound and sleep, sound waves do more than just pass through your ears. They influence your heartbeat, your breathing rhythm, and your brainwave patterns. When sound is steady, low, and predictable, your body mirrors it, which means your heart rate slows, your muscles release, your mind chatter eases. This is why sound frequency matters. Things like white noise, I'm sure you've heard of, right? It masks distractions, but it can often feel sharp. Now, we've moved into some new things, pink and brown noise, and if you're curious about this, you're going to learn about them today. Now, pink noise balances low and high frequencies, mimicking things like rain or rustling leaves. It tends to be softer than white noise, supports deeper sleep and memory, and it helps quiet mental chatter. So it's great for people who want something calming without overstimulation. And the studies that we've seen on this have been in the older population, but we're finding across the board that pink noise can be very soothing to the brain during sleep. Now, when it comes to things like brown noise, it's deeper and softer. Think like thunder or like low waterfall. It's excellent for anxiety, overstimulation, and racing thoughts. It provides a steady, comforting blanket of sound, and it helps the mind drop down into those lower brainwave states. It's often best for those who tend to struggle to settle their thoughts. Each frequency tells the nervous system something different. The deeper the tone, the more grounded the body feels. Now, when it comes to sound and how the frequency influences your body, sound is not just something that you hear. It is something that your nervous system reads. Every sound is a vibration. Those vibrations travel through your ear and into your brain as electrical signals. Your brain interprets them as rhythm, pitch, volume, and meaning. Different frequencies, how fast or slow those vibrations move, create different effects in your body. Low frequencies are slow, deep, and grounding. They might feel like thunder, ocean waves, or a soft hum. They support calm because they mimic that slower internal rhythm your body naturally moves into as you prepare for sleep. Again, that slower heart rate, that slower breathing, the slower brainwaves. When it comes to higher frequencies, it tends to be fast, sharp, and activating. So it feels like alarms or buzzing or sudden sharp noises. These sounds tend to increase alertness, which can be helpful during the day, but not so much for winding down at night. And here's something important to understand. Your brain is always listening, even when you're asleep. It's constantly checking your environment for safety. So any sudden changes in volume or pitch, whether it's someone slamming a door or a dog barking or a car horn, or where I live, the train's going off, they can wake you instantly as your brain interprets them as danger cues. But when sound is steady, soft, and predictable, the brain interprets it as a safety cue. It tells your system there's nothing to monitor. You can release vigilance. You can drift deeper. This is why color noises, nature sounds, and low-frequency tones help with sleep and stress because they create a consistent, low-risk environment. Now, sound also influences the brain, of course, right? Because it interacts directly with brainwave activity, the same waves that define your sleep stages. So calming soundscapes or specific frequencies can encourage your brain to move from beta waves, which is alertness, to alpha, which is relaxed wakefulness, and finally to theta and delta, those slow restorative stages of deep sleep. Your brain naturally syncs with rhythm and frequency of what it hears. This process is called auditory entrapment, and it can reduce stress hormones, lower your heart rate, and helps those prone to anxiety reach a deeper state of rest more easily. When the sound environment is intentional, your nervous system does not have to work as hard to stay asleep. When it comes to sound, it also helps us with things like anxiety and stress. An anxious brain is scanning, it's listening, it's anticipating, it's protecting. Steady sound gives it something predictable to hold on to. Low frequency sound in particular helps to reduce that startle response. It helps to quiet those looping thoughts and lowers muscle tension. It supports slower, steadier breathing, and it creates a sense of grounding and emotional safety. This is why people with anxiety often find comfort in brown or pink noise. There are some practical sound cues for sleep as well. The goal is not silence. It's about consistency, right? Steady sound acts as a safety signal. It masks interruptions, it reduces micro awakenings, and it helps your body feel secure enough to drift deeper. And some simple ways that you can use sound intentionally are to use a brown or pink noise track about 30 minutes before bed to help quiet that mental noise, right? You can pair low frequency sound with slow nasal breathing. Think inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. And if music helps, you can choose instrumental tones that are around 60 beats per minute because that roughly is the rhythm of a resting heart rate. Avoid sudden changes because your brain interprets them as danger cues. And if you're like me, a sensitive sleeper, it's completely normal for your preferred sound environment to actually change. Your brain can get accustomed to certain sounds, so variations or shifting towards silence may eventually feel better. Research shows that your brain becomes accustomed to sound patterns, meaning that over time, you might need variation, new frequencies, or even a shift towards silence. Your needs are not static, they're responsive. And I have to note here, just a little plug, if you've listened to me previously, I'm a big fan of the Sleep Space app. And if you want a tool that helps you experiment with sound in a more personalized way, the Sleep Space app can guide you. Their adaptive soundscapes adjust throughout the night based on your sleep cycles, and their dynamic sleep mask uses gentle sound to deepen rest. And we offer a free 14-day trial to the Sleep Space app, and I'm going to drop the link for that for you in the show notes. Another thing that you can do to tap into the Doze sound experience, because we understand that sound is not just background, it's communication, is to look at our all-in-one diffuser humidifier sound machine and amber nightlight, which is designed to align with your senses. Its integrated sound options let you test and tailor the frequencies that calm your unique nervous system. Pairing low-frequency audio with gentle humidity and amber light creates a full sensory cue for sleep. Now, from my own shift from sound to silence, I want to share with you. For many years, I have relied on sound for sleep, whether it be fans, air purifiers, different types of sound machines, even apps. I myself personally use the Sleep Space app. But after a stretch of headaches that have made me super sensitive to even soft sound, I realized that in my current state, I need a different approach. I began reducing noise at the source, so buffering windows, not just using darkening blinds, but actually using heavier blinds on my windows, sealing gaps, reducing echoes, and using materials that absorb sound like carpeting. And it reminded me of something powerful that I mentioned previously. Sometimes the nervous system needs sound, and sometimes it needs space. Your relationship with sound does not have to be fixed. It can shift with your health, your stress levels, your hormones, your environment, even your age, because your brain adapts. This is called habituation, when repeated sounds become normal and stop producing the same calming effect. That's why white noise may help you for years and then suddenly feel too sharp, right? That brown noise might feel grounding now, but overwhelming later. Silence may feel uncomfortable at first, but then become your new baseline. Your sensory needs evolve. Your sleep environment should evolve with them. So listening to what your body wants and being willing to adjust is one of the most important parts that's central to sleep by the senses. Our senses do more than interpret the world. They shape how we move through it. Sound teaches your brain the rhythm of sleep. Each steady tone, each soft hum tells your nervous system it's safe to drift deeper. Let the noise around you become intentional. Let it carry you quietly into the calm. This series is about aligning your environment with your biology one sense at a time. So far we've explored temperature, touch, scent, and now sound. Next week, we're going to be moving into sight, how brightness, color, and timing help synchronize your circadian rhythm and deepen your rest. And if you're looking for additional tools to support you on your journey with your sleep by the senses, you can visit us at thedoze.co or startwithsleep.com. Do me a favor, if this episode helped you to slow down, please share it with someone who could use the same reminder. Until next week, sleep well.